sports and the passion that surrounds it is a universal language. This widely anticipated basketball game pits former NBA players against the national team of Belarus. And behind the picks, assists, and dunks is an exercise in evangelism and diplomacy.
It is really neat that the American NBA players came to our Belarusian land.
Some people in this former Soviet country remain skeptical of Americans, but bring in members of the NBA and even the native fans cheer.
It's not better or worse than any other ministry, but it's a unique one that can open up doors that no one else can.
20 years ago, Bill Alexson created sportspower. It's a combination of retired NBA and European League Christians who travel the globe playing national teams and sharing the gospel. The remarkable thing isn't the players' moves on the court. It's the nearly unfettered access they enjoy in the countries they visit.
It's a phenomenal thing. And the press goes everywhere we go. The kids, you say to the kids, jump, they say, how high? And we have our lives changed in the process.
Schools swing open their doors, giving players a chance to witness to kids. Even the highest levels of government pay attention. Jerome Junkyard Dog Williams, who played for the New York Knicks and other teams, is one of sportspower's stars. His moves are his ministry, and he's growing his dog pound, one bark, one picture, one international venue at a time.
Yeah, the dog pound, it grows every day, and but it's the Lord's dog pound. It's his,
Well, what is it like playing on God's team now?
It's an honor. I understand that my platform that the Lord gave me with the NBA puts me on a pedestal in any part of the world.
Former pro Paul Grant gets it too.
You can't have expectations because magical things happen that we can't even imagine on each of these trips.
Belarus isn't a place where Americans always feel welcome. CBN's presence in the country made national news. 7 years ago, Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko, known as the last dictator of Europe, kicked out the U.S. ambassador and 30 American diplomats. Since then, the U.S. has been working to improve relations, one play at a time.
The idea is to use sports as diplomacy to help use this universal language of athletic competition to help people understand each other better and ultimately to lead to better relations in general.
This summer, the U.S. is funding a new 3-on-3 basketball court in Minsk.
Everybody in Belarus knows basketball because everybody watches NBA. It's on national television. So such events and being able to have this 3-on-3 program together with the Embassy of the United States, absolutely, it will bring the countries closer.
If the U.S. wants to reach Belarusians, sports may be one of the best ways. President Lukashenko is an athlete and avid sports fan. Just take a look at this palace of a hockey arena he built. He even has a vice president of sports who just happens to be his closest advisor.
I'm wondering what opportunities you see for to use sports to help bridge the gap between the United States and Belarus.
Most of the times, many people lack mutual understanding. And sport itself does not bring any political colors inside of it and does not make people turn their backs to it. And the barking of the dogs shown by Jerome, the hoo-hoo, is much more worth it.
Hey, listen. The dog barking is a universal language.
Yegor Misheriakov is a product of sports diplomacy. A State Department program called Sports United helped him sharpen his basketball skills in the U.S. and eventually play for George Washington University shortly after the fall of the Soviet Union.
It's been a dream come true, really, because growing up in the Soviet Union, you don't really think about going to the U.S. Even getting some visas were a problem. So suddenly, in a few years, everything changed. And we were very thankful for the opportunity.
Now he leads the Belarusian Basketball Federation, sending young boys and girls to learn about American culture and gain new moves on the court.
I was asking them, what's the biggest difference when you went to the U.S. and the basketball approach over there compared to Belarusian one. And they said the coaches are very inspirational out there. They were very inspired by the idea of women's sports and women's power, that actually such place exists as a women's NCAA Hall of Fame.
Belarus holds a strategic position between Europe and Russia. But before relations with the U.S. can improve, American officials say Belarus must address some major concerns, including restrictions on religious freedom.
It includes concerns about political prisoners. It includes concerns about the right for political parties to participate freely, to have access to free media.
Meanwhile, Christians and diplomats will keep working to change hearts and minds, one game at a time. Jennifer Wishon, CBN News, Minsk, Belarus.